Welcome to the show that teaches you the things your parents and teachers are too afraid to. The Helios blog. Today, Kevin Samuels says that women should let men use them. Oh, this should be good.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
Okay. It costs less than $100 to marry somebody.
Yeah, that's true. So you think that should be a requirement? Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I do know is this. When a man wants to marry a woman, he does. And if you're with somebody for 5 years and y'all can't scrape together the money to get married, y'all don't need to be together.
Well, okay.
Ma'am, if you're dealing with a man who cannot scrape up enough money to put a Cracker Jack ring on your finger and make a 5-year relation, okay. Is your father in your life?
No.
Not really. Because
No.
I'm not from... Okay.
Do you think a father would allow his daughter? Do you think a father who raised his daughter would allow her to be with a man for 5 years and not make a formal commitment to her?
Yeah, it's crazy. Agreed.
Right, but he made a lot of sacrifice for me in his life, and
okay, well, ma'am, you asked me. So
okay.
This is why I, when women in your position, I don't feel sympathy for you. Because you know the truth, you know the answer. And it's like, well, what do you want me to tell you? That what you're doing is okay? No,
right.
No.
Yeah, I understand. I guess that would be the position of my dad. And
Well, that would be the position of any man. That would be the position of any man that cares about his daughter. But apparently, it sounds like you're dating a guy. What does he do for a living?
he works in IT, and he makes pretty good money.
Okay, then he just doesn't want to marry you.
Indeed.
Right. I mean, that's pretty tough to say like that, but
okay. I said, why haven't you got married? And you gave me some song and dance about money. Did he go to college?
Yes.
Yes. No, didn't finish though.
Okay, ma'am. How much money is he making a year?
$5.
About 70.
Ma'am, get off my phone. All it takes is people can get married with less than that. You see, that's the thing. Women want to believe the fantasy. Then what do you want from the world? Waste your youth, waste 5 more years of your life with a guy who doesn't want to be with you, and then when he dumps you, you can say men are shit. And the world allows you guys to do this. $70,000 is almost twice what the American family makes. Did you finish high school? That's what I thought.
Excuse me?
Did you finish high school?
Yes.
Okay. She's struggling to answer the question.
I don't know what else to tell you, ma'am, because this is not a This is not a masculinity thing. But I'm for the audience. This is why I tell you the audience often. You got to understand when women say stuff about men, you got to really question a woman who's been in a long-term relationship with no end goal in sight. That's why I don't believe what most women say, because I know women, when they decide to be with somebody, they'll make a bunch of concessions for them.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, no,
Might
right.
be.
So This is why, guys, understand something. If a woman wants to, I want you men to start being ruthless. I'm going to be honest. Gentlemen, I want you to start being freaking ruthless in the dating market. Take no prisoners. When you listen to a woman tell you a sob story, assume she's lying to you.
Yep. That's
because inevitably she likely is.
Yep. That's right.
Or she's not being 100% honest. How about that?
Yeah.
And you need to be ruthless because at the end of the day, you take the responsibility when shit doesn't work.
That's right.
When things don't work, they go out and blame you. So if you are ruthless, being ruthless will give you several benefits. One, it will turn off masculine women. Being ruthless is a turnoff to masculine women. They can't stand ruthless men. It's a turnoff to masculine women, and it's also chameleon detecting.
Yep.
It's chameleon radar. Because so many chameleons out here can play the game, know the buzzwords, but they cannot stand being around men who are ruthless because eventually they're like, he's going to find out, he's going to find out, he's going to find out. I need to see who you are before I mute you. Feminine women don't have a problem with ruthless men. Matter of fact, feminine women love ruthless men. Feminine women love ruthless men. Why? Because if you're ruthless, feminine women look at that as security.
That's right.
Masculine women are repulsed by ruthless men. They look at it as toxicity and all these other things. And this is a good thing. Start being ruthless. This is why the beautiful thing about being direct. And one of the things when I was growing up, I was told to be indirect. And when I would be indirect with women, I'd get bad outcomes. And when I was direct with them, I'd get different outcomes. And when I finally stopped toggling back and forth, life became so much better. Any woman who's met me in the real world will tell you, this is what you get. Any man that's met me, this is what it is. But people at least know where they stand. Ruthless does not mean you're just callous. Ruthless does not even mean you're not empathetic. Ruthless just means you get right to the point. You don't like the woman who just called, you don't do that song and dance and what's the femininity? What the hell does femininity and masculinity have to do anything? If 5 years into a relationship, you're 25, you've been with somebody think about it. In 5 years, she'll be talking about, I dated a skyscraper.
That's right.
It said ladies only. If you're a man in my chat room, why are you here? If you're a woman this is why when I meet women who are in 3-year, 4-year, 7-year, 10-year relationships, I have no sympathy for women who end up in relationships like that don't work. Let's get to it. If you've run into a woman that's been in a relationship over 18 months, think about how stupid you have to be a woman. An educated, smart woman to be in a relationship for 2+ years and not get married. There's something wrong with that woman. Gentlemen, this is why I say you got to start being.
Again, like, if she's in that arrangement, what does it mean? It means that she's not interested in that. She's a modern woman. And you don't want to marry those.
Being ruthless. You'll be ruthless on a woman's weight. You'll be ruthless on her children. But you better be ruthless on her relationship history.
Indeed. Past relationships are the best predictor of future relationships, as they say. Why
is that important? Because It is far better for you as a man to date fewer women and date only quality.
Yep.
I want you to start dating women who are petite fillets and stop trying to deal with women who are fucking Waffle House T-bone steaks. Waffle House T-bones. Think about it. You go to Waffle House and get some fucking steak and eggs, right? Is the steak at Waffle House the same as the steak at I like Nick and Sam's or Bob Davis or Del Frisco or Three Forks or even Mastro's. I don't care. Ruth Chris is one name everybody knows, but you know, Steak 48. Start getting women who are petite fillets. Less is more.
Yep. It's better for you to cut the girl at the beginning, if she's sketchy, than to deal with her, because dealing with her inevitably leads to all kinds of crazy garbage, basically. If you make the unfortunate mistake of dealing with a girl who's sketchy like that, you will suffer the consequences, sadly, but that's how it works.
Pure quality women minus the fantasy. Thank you. All right. If you want to come in, ladies, here's the only thing. If you don't want to be on YouTube, you don't have to be. But let's get into this another thing. Ladies, if you're under 35, you got to be prepared to ditch it all. You got to dump your single friends. You got to dump your Instagram. You got to dump your TikTok.
Yep.
Just get to the basics. You got to get in the gym. You got to get out in life. You got to dump the pet. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you put yourself in one of these positions, you'll start being anti-F-boy. You'll have anti-F-boy repellent, because you'll start moving through the world like a woman who is really serious about getting to the next level. Because a woman who does all this, she won't have a problem in telling a guy, I only date with the intention of being married.
Yep.
I only date with the intention of being married. I only deal with this. I only deal with that. See, one of the big problems today is when a woman likes a man, they'll start making concessions. Start picking men with your eyes closed. Gentlemen, start picking women. Oh, this is going to sound weird. So pause.
From the streets, I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money.
Yeah.
Start picking women with the feeling you had listening to that. Think about how you felt listening to that. Think about how you felt listening to this.
From the streets, I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money.
Think about how you felt listening to that and do the opposite. Think about how you would feel with this woman.
Oh my.
And pick something that's the other way.
Yeah, never deal with a girl like that. I mean, that should be obvious, even for a short-term relationship.
I know it's weird because I often don't tell guys to deal with your feelings, but guys, you do need to understand your feelings a little bit. So, pick a woman that makes you feel peaceful. Let me see. This dude right here. Hey, Karen, let me do something real quick. I gotta do something real quick. Just a second. All right, so let's go ahead sing because he keep popping in like a. Karen, unmute yourself. Hey, how are you? Do you have on headphones? Okay. Need to adjust your volume a little bit. All right, let's do this. How old are you? I'll try to turn it up a little. How old are you? Say again?
37.
Take off your headphones.
Okay.
How old are you?
37.
37?
Yes.
I'm assuming you said yes.
She's unable to answer a basic question. Lovely.
All right. I'm still having a hard time with your audio. So what do you got for me? What's the question?
All right. So I just want to quickly answer your question. Why is it so hard for women to allow men?
Okay. You're going to have to come back in. Your audio is really not good. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room and come back in. See, women will hold on to male friends in the friend zone.
Yep.
They'll hold on to their single friends. They'll hold on to They'll hold on to their jobs. They'll hold on to all of this because it's what they know. Women are deathly afraid of being alone.
That's right.
So they will do things that they know will keep them single because they don't want to be alone. Because women hate to be bored. I want you to think about this. Imagine if you had a job that paid women $300,000 a year, but it was in Anchorage, Alaska or Fairbanks, Alaska, and they were required to stay in Alaska 50 weeks out of the year. They were required to stay in the town they worked in. And it paid them $400,000. You know how many women would never take that job? And men would do just the opposite. Men would run up there in droves.
Yep.
Because we can be alone. Hello, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me good enough?
That's a little bit better. Go ahead. What's the question?
It's not necessarily a question. I just want to quickly answer your question where you asked, why is it that women will not allow men to use them?
Okay. Yeah, your audio is still bad. So here's what you do. Type it in the chat room. Type it in the chat room. Type it out. Here's the question. Type it here. There you go. Respond to that. So while she's doing that, gentlemen, think about it. If you gave a woman, let's say the town had, let's see what the comments say. Robert said, I'd be on a plane. John said, I would fight for that job. But you got to understand, women can't go to the bathroom by themselves.
Literally.
They got to go on groups. That's how much they hate boredom. This is why they keep men in their friend zone who they have no sexual attraction to.
Well, that's not why. It's because you get boyfriend benefits without having to give girlfriend benefits. That's why they do.
I don't see the message yet. They're not sexually attracted to them, but they keep them occupied. They got a friend who they talk to about The Walking Dead. They got a friend who they talk to about Love and Hip Hop. They got men that they talk to about all kinds. But okay, here it is. Okay, I would like to respond to the question of why women will not allow a man to use them. It is because the experience of being left after a man gets what he wants. It becomes difficult to trust the next guy. Okay, I call bullshit on that one. I'll tell you why I call bullshit on that.
It's alpha widow, right? If they're alpha widowed, then they'll never trust another man, right? If that was the best man that they ever had.
Well, she's saying that the reason women don't allow men to use them is because of the guy who did something before them. No, ma'am. Most women today are selfish as fuck. Excuse me. Y'all don't... Gentlemen, when was the last time you had a woman buy you something that cost more than $500?
Never.
When was the last time you had a woman buy you something? Let's see. Remember the woman who said she spent like $2,000 to go to wife school? At $2,000, y'all spent $2,000 to go to wife school, and that was the most she'd spend. Then I asked her about the last time she went on a date, and it was $450. Women shouldn't talk about violence or money, because if women had to actually start spending money like we do, they'd understand it. So my point is, women don't allow a man to use you, Miss Karen. Try to put your headphones back on. Maybe it'll be better. Unless you're telling me you allowed a man to use your credit cards, your social security number, he had access to your bank accounts, and all this other kind of stuff. Most women talk about having their feelings used. Hello?
Hi, is it better now?
That's a little bit better. So when you're talking about having women won't allow men to use them because of a man using a woman and then being left, what are you referring to?
So, I mean, for example, if you meet a guy in your early 20s as a woman, and then you allow him to use your resources, your brain, your skills, you guys try to build a life together.
Your brain, your skills? Okay.
2.5 years as an example. And then after that, he leaves you and marries himself.
Boy. I don't know where you are, but you need a new headphones and wherever. Have you allowed a man to use anything?
Yeah, she's from South Africa. I can tell by her accent.
Of yours?
Yes, I have.
Indeed.
How long?
4 years. That was my longest relationship.
1 year?
4.
4 years. Okay. First of all, you're in probably less than 10% of women do what you're talking about. Number one, because most women can't keep a relationship longer than 2.
Yep, that's accurate.
I'm gonna ask you, why weren't you married to the guy?
To be honest with you, I felt that he got too comfortable with letting me be the main provider in the relationship. So he kind of go in his ambition.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't focusing on his purpose.
Yeah, she's got really bad audio. She's got some headset. She's talking directly into the mic, and it's just not working.
I'm sorry. Let me leave and then try to come back and see.
Keep the mic right there. Keep the mic right there. So you were with him for 4 years. Why didn't you leave after a year if there was no talk of marriage?
There was talk of marriage, actually. So I'm in South Africa.
Okay.
He did manage to save enough money to pay the bridal price. But my concern at the time was that he doesn't want more for himself.
Then why were you with him?
Translation, he doesn't want more for me.
Because he was the nice guy, one of the good guys.
See? No. I said talk of marriage. And he said there was talk of marriage, but you had a concern that he wasn't ambitious enough. Why are you with a man for a year who's not ambitious? And then you want to tell us that you allowed him to use you. Sorry, ma'am, that doesn't fly with us as men. You get to pick. So now the next man who comes along who may be about something, you're judging a man in your present based on a man in your past.
Alpha Widow.
No, it doesn't work that way. But okay, South Africa, this is not working. But see, a lot of women would do this. See, what you rarely hear from women is women who have thorough men. Women who have thorough men or good dudes or something, and something goes wrong. And here's the thing: a lot of you ladies want successful men. You want successful men. Well, guess what? To be a successful man, especially a man that has a business, you know how many times he had to fail before he became successful? A lot of times you want men to just be successful and not make any mistakes. Screw that. Hello?
Yeah, literally.
Unmute yourself. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm fine, and you?
I'm well. How old are you?
I'm 24.
So what do you got for me on the topic? What are we talking about? Why don't women let men use them?
I believe because women actually are too selfish nowadays.
Good answer. All right. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all the notifications. Buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Shoutouts to all of the book purchasers. Here they are: Hunter M, Adrian R, Tom and Bobby, Dylan, Russell's Press, Brian, Andrew, Alan, Armani, and Nicholas. Shoutouts to you, most recent purchase of both my books, Strategist Guide to Seduction and Quotes to Live By. You do know I offer coaching services. You can see it on the overlay in green here. Shoutouts to Nicholas, who's been getting good results from the coaching. Just message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com if you'd like coaching yourself. I'll slot you right in. And I do offer early access content as well on my Patreon. That's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Especially if you listen to the end, I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next time.